Hello folks, I'm Headley, another fat bearded man talking about records. This is a thread video for my mate Martin Parrott, the vinyl scavenger. He is a stalwart of the VC, yet he has not yet got to 500 subscribers. So this is a bit of a drive for him to make it to 500, which he really does deserve, because Martin's channel is one of the most unique in the VC. He's been going longer than I have, and I've been doing this man and boy. It'll be 10 years for me next year, and he's done it even longer. So even for the service that he has put in, he deserves to get to his 500 subscribers mark. So I hope that you will go and check him out, because his videos are really interesting. You never know what you're going to get with Martin's videos. He shows the most bizarre records in the VC. They are always interesting, they're arresting, they're fascinating, they are unique. He'll show anything from classical to religious music to rock to metal to sort of spoken word records, strange things he's picked up at charity shops that don't really fall into any category. I think his last video that when he set this, he showed a load of Bollywood videos, records. So they're great videos. He's been doing this for a long time. Like I said, a stalwart of the VC and a good friend. He was very welcoming host when I went and stayed with him for a night last year. Went to the pub and chatted. It was really nice. So go and check out his channel at the Vinyl Scavenger. And while you're about it, because Martin is multi-talented, he is also an artist, and he produces what you might describe as sound collages, cut-ups, if you were. He under the name Vinyl Scavenger. In fact, that's kind of where the name comes from, because he scavenges records to use to cut up and edit together into these soundscapes that he puts together. And he does have a page on Bandcamp. I will leave a link for that so that you can, well, somewhere. There, up there. I don't know where it's going to be, somewhere. So you can go and check it out. And this is not a record, despite it looking like one. This is from Martin, the Vinyl Scavenger. One More Night Between Darkness and Light, and he sent me this. I'm not sure if it wasn't a prize in a competition or something he did years ago. And this is a limited edition, 6 of 6. So I was lucky to get the last one, and it's a reel-to-reel. There you can see. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself, really, doesn't it? But this is an album of cut-ups and sound collages, and you can listen to this on his Bandcamp page, and I will put a link to that. So go and check out two things: his channel at Vinyl Scavenger on YouTube, and subscribe, and also his Bandcamp page, and have a listen to some of his music. Anyway, so to get to 500 subscribers, he's put together a bit of a thread, and he's calling it Red or Dead, or Red and Dead. Isn't that a shoe designer, Red or Dead? Very late 80s, or is it early 90s? Anyway, so what we're going to have is we are going to have the first 5 are red records, so red spines he's asked for, red spines, and then the second half is dead. Now I think it's a bit morose to go for dead artists, so if you don't mind, I'm not going to do that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do when we come to it. So let's start with some red spines. Now I've also managed to pull these from my in trays. These records here are my records that I've bought over the last probably 2 or 3 years that I've yet to be show in a video. So I'm killing two birds with one feather. No, killing two birds with one stone by showing some records that I haven't shown. So business as usual, although they're also part for the thread. So let's start with Umu Sangare. She's a Malian singer. Fabulous artist. This was recorded in 1989. This is a reissue on World Circuit of her first album. She's a really fascinating person. She has done a lot for women's rights in Africa and Mali specifically. And I think she runs now she's still performing, but making records. But she also has a chain of hotels, I think, in Mali and maybe even further afield. But she's a fascinating woman. She's great. If you like that sort of Malian sound of people like Ali Farka Touré, you probably would like this. She turns up in a video, a documentary that the banjo player Bela Fleck made, where he went to Africa to kind of follow the roots of the banjo, and he met up with Sangare. And when he meets her, it's brilliant. She's like some kind of pop star diva. She's all very glammed up. She's looking absolutely fabulous. It's almost like he's got he's seeing a queen or something like that. And she really is. I think in Mali she is the queen of music. So there you are, with its red spine. That's Umu Sangaru. So no, it's not. It's Umu Sangare. Okay, another red spine, and this is one I got recently. I think I picked this up at the Vinyl Tap in Huddersfield, and it is the Black Heart Procession. This is Amore del Tropico, and it's not as Latin as it sounds. They are from San Diego. This is their 4th album. They are an indie rock band with bits of slowcore in there, a bit of Americana maybe. Think Songs Ahoya, maybe even Will Oldham, but also a bit of Nick Cave, that sort of darkness. And this is a fabulous record. Like I said, there are actually a couple of tunes that do have a kind of a Latin feel. I might play you a clip of one of those. Yeah, I discovered this band by I was at the Megastore, the Virgin Megastore, when it was still there is it still there? No, in Oxford Street in London. And they had the listening posts. And I listened to, I think it's up here, where is it? Oh, there it is. And I listened to their 3rd album, which is just number 3. I think it's just called 3. And I listened to that at one of the listening posts and went, oh, I like that. I'm having that. So, yeah. So that's a really nice record to find. It's a double album, but it's only on 3 sides with a 4th etched. But yeah, so with its red spine, that's the Black Heart Procession. Okay, this is Emily Scott Robinson. This is her, I think it's 3rd or perhaps 4th album, American Siren. This is from 2021. It's released on Oh Boy Records. She is a country artist, I suppose, not fully Nashville country. She's a bit of a maybe alt country Americana artist, and I picked this up cheap. I hadn't heard of her. Red spine, and in fact, it's a lot of red dress as well, isn't there? There she is. and yeah, it verges on the Nashville country on a couple of tracks, which are not brilliant, but the rest of it's really great. She was a social worker, and she's drawn from her sort of knowledge of people through that, and so she writes character studies in the same way that someone like John Prine did. In fact, she's been likened to John Prine as well. So yeah, yeah, it's pretty good stuff if you like that sort of light country folk Americana type stuff. So that's Emily Scott Robinson, American Siren, with a red spine.
Carry my prayers on the ocean, carry my prayers on the sea. And if you are meant to be my love, one day you'll come home to me. But are you a trick of the memory that the old gods are playing on me? Carry my prayers on the ocean, carry my prayers on the sea. Your blue eyes are there when I close mine. I see your sweet face when I dream. My heart is all ragged in pieces.
Somebody we might know of. This is Elvis Costello. This is and the Imposters. This is the boy named If. So I think this is his last album, or is from 2022. Now this was the one that was supposedly a kind of one of those return to form albums, which means it's a bit more of a rock and roll album. It does sound more in the vein of his earlier stuff with the Attractions. So yeah, I think I picked this for a tenner because I think they'd be going cheap. So I was very pleased to sort of get this one in. But there's just, I mean, it's good. It's Elvis Costello. I like Elvis Costello. I don't think there's anything apart from maybe Goodbye Cruel World, which I can't really listen to. But I mean, nor can Elvis. Isn't that the one that he says, "Congratulations, you've bought my worst album"? I'm not going to disagree with Elvis. Anyway, this one, yeah, like I said, kind of return to form, and it kind of works. And everything's there. The songs are there, the lyrics are there, the sound is there. I mean, you even have songs that sound like old songs. My Most Beautiful Mistake, Mistook Me for a Friend. They all sort of sound like Trick Out of Truth. They sound like songs that he might have done years ago. But yeah, just something not quite right. But you know, he's getting on, isn't he? And so this is, for someone in his approaching 70, is he approaching 70? Was he over 70 when he did this? I can't remember. It doesn't really matter. I'm not going to be ageist about it, although I appear to have already been ageist about it.
After talking in tongues, I began to preach. White falls from the branches, an apple, a peach. Hold on to me. There's a red alert. It's the way you make me feel magnificent. Hurt. Took a little walk, I took another stimulant. I shed a single tear for my predicament.
So the final Red Spined album is probably most recent, and this is from this year. This is Alan Sparhawk with Trampled by Turtles. Alan Sparhawk from Low. Now this is it his second album after the death of Mimi? I might be wrong, but this came out of nowhere. I mean, I've always liked Low. I've got a couple of their things. I haven't picked up a lot of their albums. I've got a box set of sort of outtakes and rare issues, and I've got a couple of other ones. But this is, I don't have any on vinyl, but this is fabulous. When I heard this, I knew I had to get it. It's a very autumnal, reflective album. Obviously, he's dealing with grief, the loss of his wife, but it's hopeful as well. It's angry, grief-stricken, yet hopeful, and probably definitely going to be one of my albums of the year. Not that I ever really buy that many new albums throughout the year, but it is fabulous. Alan Sparhawk with its Red Spine.
You gotta put up with strangers, people that you know now. You gotta go through some danger, ask for things than you thought you'd have to. You gotta do a little research before you say that you know. Even then you gotta refrain from using your own opinion.
Okay, so those are the Red Spines. Now up, we've got, Martin has suggested Dead artists, so the Red and Dead, Red or Dead. And I just don't want to bring the party down. You know, it's sad, isn't it? We know we've lost them. We don't need to talk about them. It's great when we can do it in a more sort of celebratory way and talk about the music. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show albums that have Dead either in the name of the band or in the name of the album. So how about that? That's a bit of a workaround. So first up, we've got the Dead South. This is Good Company. This is a recent reissue of their first album. I believe it's from 2014. They're a Canadian kind of alternative bluegrass outfit. Yeah, I mean, they're okay. I got it cheap, so I'm quite happy to have to pay, you know, 5-6 quid for it, whatever. But yeah, it's okay. It's not like, I mean, there are other bands I prefer that do this type of thing, like Split Lip Rayfield did it so much better. But it's still good, good fun. So that's the Dead South. I thought I might have had, I didn't want to show the Grateful Dead. I've got a couple of Grateful Dead. But the rest of them I think are going to be Dead in the album title. So we've got Dead Letter Office by R.E.M. This is the sort of odds and sods B-sides compilation, which I think is probably the first time I heard some of the songs like Femme Fatale, Pale Blue Eyes by the Velvet Underground. Also Toys in the Attic by Aerosmith. So yeah, it's great. It's fun. It's a lot of stuff sort of tossed off stuff in the studio. But yeah, when I was getting into REM and I got this, loved it. In fact, the CD I had was twinned with the Chronic Town EP, which was their first release. So that was why that was kind of worth having. But it's still worth having, and it's good to have on vinyl. Then we've got an album I was actually sent by a member of the VC many years ago, Roger Coleman from Nashville. He doesn't make video. Well, I think the last video he made was 2 years ago. So if you're out there, Roger, hello, Roger, another one of the old faces of the VC. But this is the Waco Brothers, and this is To the Last Dead Cowboy. So this is John Langford from the Mekons heading over to the States and recording an album for Bloodshot Records, the Chicago label, which at the time, well, this is 95, I think. So this is a little bit before I think I got into Bloodshot Records, but shortly after that, I bought practically everything they released. Unfortunately, most of it's on CD. In fact, all of it's on CD. So it was great absolutely lovely that Roger sent me this vinyl copy of the Waco Brothers. So yeah, so that's good. To the Last Dead Cowboy. Now this is a bit of an interesting one. I've been doing some research on this. Hang on. And this is Dead and Alive. by the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. This is from, I think, released in 1969, from a live recording in 67. So this is back when they were a bit more of a jug band, sort of electric jug band, before country rock came along. But the interesting thing about this is called Dead and Alive. I can't find any reference to being called Dead and Alive anywhere else. On Discogs, I think it's just called Alive. On Tidal, it's just called Alive. So this is a UK pressing, so I'm not sure if it was only called Dead and Alive in the UK. I mean, I don't know if the Dead's in there to make it sound like the Grateful Dead. I don't know. But yeah, so an interesting live album of them in their jug band days. This is when Chris Darrow was with them. I know that John, the Digital Gramophones, just got a couple of, or at least the first album by Chris Darrow. And you can hear him on here singing vocals on a couple of tracks and playing fiddle and mandolin. So yeah, this is early 67 Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. Okay, and the last of the Dead. And that's the soundtrack to The Return of the Living Dead. So this has got the Cramps on it. It's got Rocky Erickson. It's got the Damned on it. So yeah, there you go. I can't say I listened to this much, that much, but it's always good to have. I like a bit of the Cramps. Always good to put that on. So there you go. The Return of the Living Dead. So there you go. There's the what's it called? The Red and Dead, Red or Dead, for Martin's 500 subscribers. So off you go, off you pop now. Go and subscribe to him, get him up to 500. He more than deserves it. And check out his Bandcamp page, both under the name Vinyl Scavenger. So thanks, Martin, for doing this. And I'll see you some point in the future, both you, Martin, and everyone else watching. So until I see you again, bye-bye for now.